Those buildings came down in a controlled demolition.
Floor by floor, it's not a pop out.
It was if they had detonated.
Detonated.
They were planned to take down a building.
Is more than one small country. It is a big idea. A new world order.
A new world order. A world where the rule of law, not the law of the jungle, governs the conduct of nations. When we are successful, and we will be.
And I'm telling you, be prepared for a major attack. But it won't be Osama bin Laden. It will be those behind the New World Order. I wonder what Osama bin Laden's targets are supposed to be. You know, if this doesn't materialize in the next 2 or 3 weeks, it will eventually materialize. And so I can tell you with a certainty, they must do something terrible in order to stop this backlash and regain the sympathy of the mass herds of people out there.
But I feel compelled to say what I'm about to say. Now, I risk sounding like a conspiracy theorist, but it's no longer a theory. What I'm about to say is fact. The secret organizations of the world power elite are no longer secret. They have planned and are now leading us into a one-world communist government. The combining of national governments started with the European Union.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. The United States and the European Union can indeed provide global leadership to a world that really needs it.
I think it's extremely important with the incoming presidency of Sweden to be very active in talks and in working together between the European Union and the United States.
And we talked not only about Afghanistan and reported about at NATO, but we also discussed other issues such as Iran, and agreed that if Europe and the United States are cooperating, then we're going to get a lot more done.
We took our eye off the ball when we invaded Iraq, but our real focus has to be on Afghanistan, the border regions between Afghanistan and Pakistan, and we have to put as much pressure on them as possible.
Mr. President-elect, to apprehend Osama bin Laden?
My preference, obviously, would be to capture or kill him.
Let us never tolerate outrageous conspiracy theories concerning the attacks of September the 11th. Malicious lies that attempt to shift the blame away from the terrorists themselves, away from the guilty.
The main reason we went into Iraq at the time was we thought he had weapons of mass destruction. Turns out he didn't.
Those weapons of mass destruction got to be somewhere. Nope, no weapons over there. Maybe under here.
You know, I've heard this theory about, everything was just fine until we arrived. And this just doesn't hold water as far as I'm concerned. The terrorists attacked us and killed 3,000 of our citizens. What did Iraq have to do with what? The attack on the World Trade Center.
Nothing. So while it didn't necessarily make as much sense to go into Iraq as it did perhaps going into Afghanistan, I, like most everybody else, felt like, yes, we need to do something. We need to do something. And as the weeks turned into months and into years, and one death became a dozen deaths, and 100 deaths, and 1,000 deaths, then we began to realize, you know what, maybe we're causing more trouble over there than the whole effort has been worth.
And this is a serious question. Do you want the United States to win in Iraq? Do you want the United States to win in Iraq?
First of all, I don't...
It's an easy question. If you don't want the United States to win in Iraq...
It's not easy for me because I'm thoughtful.
What upsets me is I don't think your father would be approving of this.
Well, actually, my father thought that Bush's presidency was illegitimate.
I've done more for them than you will ever hope to do. Okay. So you keep your mouth shut.
Well, you're not
exploiting those people.
You're not
I don't,
representing.
and I never represent you. You know why? Why? You didn't support the action against Afghanistan to remove the Taliban. You were against it.
Why would I want to brutalize and further punish the people in Afghanistan?
You killed your father.
The people in Afghanistan didn't kill my father.
Sure they did. The Al-Qaeda people were trained there.
The Al-Qaeda people. What about
trained? See, I'm more angry about it than you are.
So
that is it for us today, and we will leave you with I can't do it. We'll do it live. We'll do it live. Fuck it. Do it live! I'll write it and we'll do it live!
Building 7, free-fall collapse.
Well, no, there's number 7 coming down. The excitement and the fun that people get watching an old building being demolished, and they're wired very carefully for days, and it's a very careful operation.
Third time today, reminiscent of those pictures we've all seen too much on television before, when a building was deliberately destroyed by well-placed dynamite that knocked it down.
This message is pulling. They made that decision to pull. Then we watched the building collapse.
Jane, what more can you tell us about the Salomon Brothers building and its collapse?
Well, only really what you already know. Details are very, very sketchy.
You're getting information now that one of the other buildings, Building 7, in the World Trade Center complex, is on fire and has either collapsed or is collapsing.